schools who are mentors in that area and who already have an award in that area. So as you can see, we've had 4 already, and tonight's session is all about continuing professional development. And I know firsthand how important this area is. CPD is one of the most impactful areas in a school, because it directly correlates with teachers' self-efficacy, their motivation, and ultimately the learning and teaching that takes place in the classroom. So we're going to hear about 2 schools' experiences, 3 speakers, and we have from Serbia, we've got Anna and Mariana from the Technical School of, I think it's pronounced Uzicel. They'll probably correct me if it's wrong. And we also have tonight, we have Rose from Colaiste Bride in Ireland, whose school won the Digital Schools Award in 2020 and then the SELFIE European Award in 2022. Both schools have been awarded mentor status for continuing professional development, so we're delighted that they're here to share their digital journey with you tonight. So as this is a very short session, I mean, we should be finished by 12:30, it should only be 30 minutes. Both schools will just be about 10-15 minutes each. So if you've got any questions as they're speaking, just drop them in the chat, and we'll be able to help answer those, or the speakers will be able to help answer them at the end. So first of all, we're going to have Rose do her presentation, and then we'll have Anna and Mariana. So I'm going to stop sharing just now, Rose, if you want to get yourself set up, and we'll hand over to Rose, and let's hear all about her continuing professional development journey.
Brilliant. Thank you, Joanna. Thanks very much. Can I just check my slides are up on the screen?
Yeah, they're showing perfectly.
Brilliant. Okay, that's great. Hi, everybody. It's great to be here this evening, and thanks very much to the team for inviting me and, of course, our school, Colaiste Bride, to contribute to the webinar this evening. You know, we're always delighted to share and the learning that we get from these webinars, and indeed from any sort of collaboration, is always beneficial to us. So hopefully, something that I say this evening might just strike a note, or it might be a eureka moment for somebody that's here watching the webinar. So yeah, our school is Colaiste Bride, and we are based in the southeast of Ireland in a town called Enniscorthy in County Wexford. Just to give you a little bit of background to the school, we are a voluntary secondary school, and we are an all-girls school. Our school has a 3-person leadership team. So there's my boss, Ciara O'Sullivan, and then my colleague, my co-deputy Neil Moynihan, and myself as the leadership team. We have a student enrolment of approximately 768 students and 60 teachers thereabouts. We also have an administration team, and we would have a number of special needs assistants and post-primary teachers who are studying to become teachers. So we're a really busy campus, lots happening every day. You know, it's all go, and it's brilliant, but I suppose, where do you get the time to fit in everything that we want to do? And you know, that's what I'll explain to you this evening about our digital journey. I suppose we started our digital journey really long before I came into the role of deputy principal. I'm deputy principal 3 years. This is my 3rd year now, but long before I came on the scene, we would have been working and building the foundations to get that platform up and running. We are an Office 365 or Microsoft 365 school since about 2017-18. That has been our platform. We are also a bring your own device school, so we're not an iPad school. We do allow and encourage our students to use their smartphones or whichever device they would like to under teacher supervision in class, and that's actually worked really, really well for us as well. We began the journey with the digital schools then in 2019, and we were delighted to get our award in March 2020. And it was funny, when I was typing up these slides, it dawned on me, March 2020, you know, what a time to become a digital school. digital my eye. Everything went out the window with COVID, but and I'll talk a little bit more about that and how that affected our staff as I go through the slides. You know, not to sit on our success, we decided to persevere with the Digital Schools European Awards then. And in March 2022, we were delighted to be awarded as a European Digital School. So that's just added to our momentum. Currently, we have a team of staff digital leaders, and that changes. That has changed over the years, and again, I'll be talking about that in the slides. And we have a team of student digital mentors who work, and they go between our teachers and our student body, and they're the ideal conduit really to allow the learning to take place between both sides of the faculty. So everything that we have done in terms of our digital learning and our continuous professional development with technology has been based on a couple of things, really. I think it comes to good planning and going right back to when we put together our digital learning plan as part of our digital strategy. It was really just putting down what it is, the why of what we wanted to do in the school, and then the how of how that would actually happen and enact. So we had a two-tier system going, because our digital learning plan obviously would have included building on staff capacity and working on our digital CPD for staff. But our SSE at the time, our school self-evaluation, one of our targets was also digital collaboration for staff. So, it worked that we were focusing our targets and our actions on two levels, and it did pay off, as I said, and we saw that especially when it came to COVID. So how does it work then? Again, our vision is really, really important. And this is the same vision that we started with our digital learning plan in 2019. And it's funny because we're just entering into a new digital strategy. And yet when I look at our digital vision here, it's still the same. It's that teachers and students are capable and confident in the use of digital technologies, and that we provide an environment of support, collaboration, and innovation, so that our students will leave school ethical, confident, creative, and productive. And that's all in terms of digital technology. So it's a vision that we created in 2018-19, and it's still standing strong today. And it gives us a focus, and we know exactly what we are aiming towards. So our teacher continuous professional development, or our CPD, that's all about building capacity. And how did that journey come about, and where are we now? So when we started looking at our staff and seriously looking at, introducing technology into the school on a daily basis, initially, we did have to look at outside agencies. We would have looked at Riggle Learning. They're a company that work very closely with Irish schools. We did need that support from the outside expert. So our team leaders, and they were a group of teachers who volunteered into the role, and there were a mixture of teachers. There were teachers that would have had a lot of technical experience and a great interest in technology, but there were also just teachers that were, willing to come on board and saying, this is an area that I want to grow and learn, and I'm really willing to share my expertise then with the wider staff. So giving that a little bit of outside in-service and teaching to those teachers was as invaluable at the beginning, but it wasn't where we wanted to go. The ultimate aim was that we needed to be able to do this in-house and learn and teach from each other, really. I mean, for all sorts of reasons, because that's how we collaborate. But also, I suppose, from a funding point of view, you had to look at the talent and the expertise and what we could actually take from our own staff. We also would have used the professional development support team. They would have sent and offered us sustained support from their digital learning team, from their technology team. And that was very useful, especially when it came to deciding, what we wanted to do with our digital learning plan and the steps that we needed to take and the actions that needed to happen. One of the biggest areas that fed into our CPD would have been our in-house CPD that we would have focused on at various stages throughout the year, and this was very much based on individual teacher needs. And I'm sure every school out there, scratches their head and thinks, where's the time for this? That's the problem, because we've got great ideas, we've got great staff, we've got great expertise, but how do you find the time to actually get that learning, get that those practical sessions that need to happen so that teachers can learn from each other. So we would have gleaned any bit of time we could at all from the school calendar. We would have looked at the calendar in advance of the year ahead. We would have looked at stages, and I mean, you could just see in the example on the slide there, there's always a little bit of broken time at the beginning of September when, maybe class groups have assemblies and, teachers are in the building, but they're not actually timetabled to teach. So we were able to take some time there. I suppose what I would say is we made a mistake at the beginning when we were setting up our staff CPD, and that was that we focused on our team of digital leaders working with subject departments. We thought it would be a good idea to put each team digital leader with subject department, and that didn't work. We had people in subject departments with so much varied ability in technology that it was very, very difficult to hit the right note, and it was a wasted resource for some, and then for others then it was maybe moving too quick. So we recalibrated on that. And, again, part of that 6-step process with SSE, we would have surveyed and found out what were the areas that our staff needed the help and the CPD mostly in. From that, we would have formed workshops. We would have looked at our digital team to see who was comfortable in what area. And we went right from the beginning, just from getting started with Microsoft Teams, to a more advanced level of working with notebooks and looking at digital apps. So, there was something for everybody there. We also made sure that we included our whole staff. So it wasn't just the teachers in the school, it was our whole staff. It was our senior leadership team we would have sat in these workshops and learned, our special needs assistant, and our administration team as well, because they're often the support people for students with digital difficulties, or perhaps a parent that's phoning in with an issue that a student might have with technology, with homework, etc. So everybody was included in these workshops. Following from that, then we would have set up a staff team, and this has actually become an invaluable resource. On our staff team, then we would have uploaded a series of screencasts, how-tos, even TikToks, you name it, anything that we could that would help our staff. And we found the screencasts really, really helpful, very easy to do. Our digital leaders are very willing and happy to research and learn in different areas, whether it be to do with educational apps, whether it was to do with our 365 platform, or using our school our VSware, which is our school platform for our school database for student details and our day-to-day running of the school. Even ensuring that teachers had the know-how and the capability to be able to use that effectively. That was all part of our teaching, learning, and our CPD. So that folders in our staff team. We also have a digital staff handbook, and every new teacher that comes to the school is guided towards this handbook, and it's got a wealth of information about the school digitally stored. Everything from our school policies, from our the day-to-day running of the school, our procedures, who's who in the building, and that's it's there, and it's consistently updated as well, which is really brilliant to have, and we get loads of feedback on that. We would also try and encourage our teachers to look at any kind of CPD that they can get, you know, whether it be through an outside agency or within the school. So any emails, any advertisements, anything that we see that's available online through any of our local education centres, that information is shared as well with our staff on a regular basis. So, you know, staff are encouraged to keep a good eye on our CPD channels so that they know that they can sign up with our encouragement to any courses that they might be interested in doing. Something that has been really helpful to us as well has been our digital learning coordinator, and this is a teacher in the school who has a dedicated post of digital learning, and you know, she would work with both the staff and the students in making sure that we're staying abreast of all the changes and that our digital learning is running running successfully and smoothly in the school. Again, you know, as a senior leadership team, we make sure that we're so supportive of this, and we always make sure to put digital learning on the agenda of staff meetings, even if it's just a quick update, just to keep people in the know. You can see here, these are some of the examples, and I know the slides are small, but you can see we created a more bespoke CPD for our staff. We found that the best way for teachers to learn from other teachers was to assign our team leaders to our staff. So you can see they're very small, I know, but the general idea that we would have had 3 or 4 teachers assigned to a digital team leader, and they would have worked with that person. They would have met maybe at you know, sometimes at a free class, at maybe at the coffee machine, maybe it was at the photocopier, wherever, but those quick conversations. And I know that was a huge help to our staff in bringing along capacity. And again, the different types of workshops that we would have worked on. And this was all as a result of feedback from teachers, you know, and finding out what they wanted us to create for them. And that feedback, you know, like I have to say, using the SELFIE process, as tiresome as it was going through it, you know, there's a lot in it. Actually, that feedback is really brilliant to have, because, you know, we are really, we know that we are targeting exactly what our teachers and our students are looking for from us in the school. You know, we're always monitoring our targets and our school self-evaluation as well. So, you know, that's another form of evaluation. Surveying our teachers to find out at different stages what they want, and we would do that with parents and students too, of course. The SELFIE report, then, you know, it's a really useful document to have, you know, something we can refer to and just to check in and see, are we moving in the direction that we want to move in? How do we transfer then all the skills that our staff have learned to the classroom environment? And it's not always as plain sailing and straightforward as it sounds. COVID was, I mean, it was, you know, it was what it was, but in many ways, you know, I wouldn't go so far as to say it was a blessing, but you know, the learning and the upskilling that happened on an absolute needs basis from staff was phenomenal, really. Over the space of a number of months, our teachers really, you know, came on board. They grappled with what they needed to be able to seamlessly move our students to the online learning environment. You know, because it's all about just making sure that we're providing the best for our students. And when that will was there, the learning that took place was just phenomenal. We did have issues. The digital divide has been and still always will be a problem for our students. You know, so we need to make sure that we meet the needs of our students, that, you know, that they are equipped with the correct you know, whether it's that they need Wi-Fi or they need a device, whatever that needs be. For our staff, you know, like if they are upskilling and if they are working on their CPD, we need to make sure that they are equipped as well. So, you know, that they have their devices, that their devices are maintained. You know, any online issues that they might have, that we're able to sort those out for them, tech issues, that we're there hands-on in the school building for that, for them, so that they can, you know, use their learning and their CPD learning for their classroom teaching without too many glitches, because nobody wants that. It's unfair and unnecessary if we can avoid it at all. Internet safety, making sure that we have an acceptable usage policy in the school, that our teachers feel comfortable about using technology and safe, you know, that they connect with the students, and it's done in a manner that everybody feels that, you know, that the boundaries are set and everybody understands what it is that's expected of them. Funding, so, you know, if teachers approach us, if they're looking for particular tools or apps, whatever it is, that we can make sure that we can provide that. So the funding has been invaluable. We've been very lucky in that, and making the correct decisions about how we spend the funding available to the school. An issue that we had, that our teachers would have come back and said to us, was that they that while they had learned all these new skills, that the students weren't always able to apply the basic skills. Sure, the students were brilliant at social media, you name it, they could do it. But when it came to basic things like creating a Word document or a poster or a PowerPoint or something they might need for a project, they didn't have some of those basic skills. So trying to create a more personalised learning program for our students and to increase that engagement is where we're looking at in the future for our CPD, and that the teachers are actually able to provide those, you know, teach those skills to the students as well, and that's happening through our wellbeing program. And then obviously,
Rose,
yes.
I'm so
You're
sorry.
move me
You're
on.
doing such an amazing, wonderful job, but I'm just conscious of the time for Mariana and to be getting on with the little talk. So I don't know if you can go through the next couple of slides, because it's nearly 25 past.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Thank you. I was loving listening to it, but I'm conscious some people have only blocked aside that amount of time. Perfect. Thank you.
And again, it's just recognising the learning that our teachers, when they do take that on board a project or a course, you know, so we always welcome any kind of accreditation that our teachers can look for, and we would be supportive of that. Finally, just the next steps, just to say that really we want to embed those technical skills that we've learned, especially in COVID. We're looking to make sure that our students are able to utilise all those wonderful tools out there. We have a digital challenges program that we've introduced through our wellbeing program that will make those skills a little bit more accessible for everybody, and just keep on investing in infrastructure and keep planning and working for whole school planning for teaching, learning and assessment. And I am so sorry to the ladies, apologies, but I'm going to hand it back over to Joanna now.
Oh, please don't worry, Rose. It was so interesting, and we could have probably listened to it for the full amount of time. So what I would suggest is, while Anna and Mariana are getting set up with their presentation, obviously we'll probably run past the 1:30, because we want to make sure we hear everything from the technical school in Serbia as well. So what I would suggest, if anybody has any questions but feel they have to leave at 1:30 because they have something scheduled, we will record this and we will send it to you, so you will get to hear all of Anna and Mariana's sessions. So we will run slightly past 1:30 so that we can get both the presentations in, but you won't miss anything if you have to leave. And if you want to leave a question in the chat as well, please do so. Mariana, do you want to share your screen?
Mm-hmm. Okay, we want to introduce, this is Mariana.
Yeah.
Good evening. I'm glad that tonight we have the opportunity to present our school digital journey. How we have professionally trained and developed over the last 2 decades, and the way we have transferred our knowledge, experiences, and good practice to colleagues in other schools. Now we have the opportunity to do that as the part of SELFIE Digital School Academy project. My colleague Anna will tell you about our development towards a digitally competent school and how we share our knowledge.
Okay, now presentation.
Mhm.
Can you see now? Can you see now our presentation?
Not just yet.
Okay. Now?
No, nothing's coming through.
Okay, we'll check what's happening. Now, can you see?
No. Do you want me to share it on my screen?
Okay. Okay.
And then you can just tell me when you want to swap it over. Is that showing up?
It's okay.
That's coming up now,
Why
Joanna. Yeah.
what is happening? We share it, but now we'll
Don't
check
worry.
what's happening.
We can see Joanna's slides there now.
Okay, so I'll move when you tell me to move to the next slide, okay?
Okay, thank you. I want to say something about the technical school. The technical school is a secondary vocational school where students are educated in 5 areas of work: electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, and metalworking, metallurgy, graphic arts, and woodworking. It has 125 employees, of which 90 are teachers and about 900 students. We took the first steps in the field of digital technologies back in 2001 when we started training teachers to work with computers. In the following year, we started with the implementation of training for third parties. In school year 2005-2006, the school implemented the Uzicel Knowledge Project, where as a result, we were developing a school portal with digital lessons from over 20 subjects and many other contents. The goal of the project was to use the possibilities of modern information and communication technologies and the internet as a communication channel in order to improve methods and means of teaching. School year 2008-2009, we switched to writing and submitting teachers' plans in electronic form. In addition to the savings in the time required for receiving and recording the submitted printing plans, we also achieved savings in the purchase of office supplies. In that period, we started with the introduction of the quality system in the school according to the EFQM model of excellence, and in addition to defining goals, identifying processes and determining the structures that would implement those processes, we needed a documentation system and forms. Digitalization of school processes and documentation was the vision we were striving for at that time. In 2012, we went on the adventure of introducing the Live at EDU electronic communication and collaboration system with the aim of facilitating communication between employees via email and to familiarize employees with the possibility of using SkyDrive folders in the cloud. The transition to Office 365 was made in April 2013. With the opening of official accounts, communication and cooperation between us became simpler. Teachers are known to dislike administration. Our mission is in this area was to make their work easier and to contribute to the improvement of the school's work. The electronic platform enabled us to availability and reliability of information, management of school documents, effective cooperation and communication among employees, the possibility of improving the digital competencies of teachers. Teachers attended a large number of online seminars in the previous period where they improved their skills. This new space turned out to be a great place for them to apply and practice that knowledge. Our Office 365 platform has become a virtual classroom where teachers improve their knowledge and improve their competencies in this area in order to successfully apply the methods of cooperation and sharing of space and documents and working with students. Since March 2020, when distance learning began due to the pandemic, school accounts have been open to all students. The opening of student accounts started gradually and a few years early in accordance with the school's development plan, but after the transition to online teaching, that process was carried out to the end. As we developed in the digital space, it was clear to us that we had created something that greatly improves our work and that can improve functioning and education as a whole. We wanted to share it with the colleagues from other schools to convey our experiences to them and help them on the path of digital development. In 2013, school representatives presented our platform at Microsoft Synergy 13 conference in Belgrade, and in 2014 at the Conference of New Technologies in Education. At that time, we were the only school that used the Office 365 platform for education in Serbia. In February 2019, meetings with schools from the field of electrical engineering were held at our school, within which activities focused on the exchange of experiences and examples of good practice in the work of schools were carried out under the name Let's Learn Together to Make Our Schools Better. During the 12 days of training, we had the opportunity to present our example of good practice to colleagues from 22 schools with 60 participants. The participants evaluated the entire training with a very high mean score, or 4.94 on a scale from 1 to 5. One of the proposals and suggestions was that the training should be accredited and offered to other schools because it is applicable to other areas of work. The following year, we created the training digitalization of school processes and activities, which was approved by the decision of the Minister of Education as a program of public interest. We implemented it in cooperation with the Regional Center for Professional Development of Education Employees, Uzicel. The training is aimed at training employees in education for the digitization of school processes and activities with the use of electronic Microsoft Office 365 platform for the implementation of teaching and learning programs and extracurricular activities at a distance. At that time, the training makes it possible to strengthen the professional competencies of teachers for using digital tools in order to improve school processes. It is intended for directors, teaching and non-teaching staff of schools in the Republic of Serbia. The training program is carried out remotely via the internet with the help of the Microsoft Teams application last 5 weeks, that is 40 hours. So far, 5 trainings have been implemented and 599 participants, teachers educational assistants, directors, secretaries from 46 schools throughout Serbia have successfully completed the training. Based on the evaluation questionnaires of the Institute for the Improvement of Education and Training of the Republic of Serbia, on a scale from 1 to 4, the mean value of the training is over 3.50. And support of the schools that attended the training continue even if the training was completed, especially with schools that use the Microsoft Teams application and the Office 365 platform for online teaching. And you can see the picture, the territorial distribution of the schools that are included in the training. And this was the demonstration of our modest contribution to horizontal learning among teachers and schools in the field of digital technologies, developing ourselves, improving our work and competencies in digital environment. We become closer to our students who grow up with new technologies, who speak the digital language of computers and the internet. We see the exchange of experiences and examples of good practice students as an important joint effort of teachers to get closer to the new generations we teach. Thank you very much.
That was fantastic, and I'm so sorry that I was trying to see where the slides might have been at, so I'm sorry if they weren't completely aligning with what you were saying, but the slides were fantastic. Some lovely images in there of the technical school and the teachers and learners involved. So we've got, obviously we've went a little bit over tonight, and
have you seen the whole? Have you seen the whole presentation?
I think we got up to slide 13.
Okay.
Could you not see it on your screen? I was trying to align it with what you were saying.
Yes, in one moment I saw it.
Yeah. And what we can do, if you're happy, Mariana and Anna, is we can PDF the slides and put them out with the videos so that they can be seen by anybody watching the video as well. So does anybody have any questions for our lovely presenters, Anna, Mariana and Rose, before we go off? Darren's saying fantastic, thank you for the session. It's always nice to hear what's happening in other countries, isn't it, Darren? Does anybody have any questions or they want to put in the chat or speak up? I'm conscious we're 10 minutes over just now, so I don't want to take too much time. No, well, I wish everyone a wonderful evening this evening, and another thank you to Mariana, Anna and Rose for presenting tonight. It was wonderful. Thank you so much for letting us know what's happening in your school. Our next session's on learning and teaching in early December, and Aoife will send information round about that in due course. So thank you to our presenters and thank you to everybody else that managed to get along and join in tonight. Thank you so much.